سخنرانی سناتور لیبرمن، کاندیدای پیشین معاون رئیس جمهور آمریکا.
سخنرانی‌های استفن هارپر، سید احمدفضالی، پاندلی مایکو، سالی بریشا، نخست وزیران سابق کانادا، الجزایر و آلبانی.
گردهمایی جهانی ایران آزاد، همبستگی با قیام مردم ایران، حمایت از کانون‌های شورشی و ارتش آزادی. اجلاس اول 27 تیر ماه 1399.
Honored to be here with you today via Zoom, and I'm grateful to Rudy Giuliani for hosting Bob Torricelli and me. Listening to Rudy just now, he remains as great a prosecutor today as he was in his career, and I would say if I were the judge, I would find the regime in Tehran guilty as Rudy has charged them. I bring greetings from my wife, Hadasa, who was thrilled to be with me in Ashraf last year, but she sends her love and her support to you. It's an honor to be with the National Council of Resistance of Iran, the MEK, and particularly with your great leader and my dear friend, Maryam Rajavi. This is an historic event. I think we've made it into the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't believe there has ever been this large a global meeting on Zoom in history. It is really impressive. And let me tell you that an event like this does not happen without not only hard work, but an organization such as the NCRI that once again has proven its determination, its competence, and its persistence to do things that others would never try to do. And that happens because of the commitment to principle and purpose that's part of the NCRI. And of course, no organization succeeds without a strong leader. And this organization has the strongest of leaders in Maryam Rajavi, a woman of faith and principle and intellect, a modern a woman of strength, and someone who most of all loves the people of Iran and works with a tremendous determination for that day that is coming soon and it's the purpose of our gathering today, when the people of Iran will be free. So I'm proud to join you and Rudy and everyone else in saying, I stand with Maryam Rajavi. Now, I want to say to all of you who are a part of this historic meeting that you have also joined the journey of history. And as Mayor Giuliani suggested, this is the struggle that has gone on since creation between tyranny and freedom. And you have joined the side of freedom, freedom fighters all. And I say it started with creation because from the creation, every person on earth was given the birthright, the right by birth to be free. This is what the patriotic founders of America put into the first words they wrote in their Declaration of Independence in 1776, that there are self-evident truths, and one of them is that every person has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, not as a result of the great men who wrote that document or the philosophers of the Enlightenment, but as an endowment from our Creator, an endowment from God. That's what motivated them, the heroes, the patriots of the American Revolution, to take on a fight that no one thought they could win. And the same was true for the French Revolution in the 19th century, and the tremendous resistance to Nazism and fascism during the 20th century. And of course, all of you who are here today around the world, and particularly the heroic resistance fighters in Iran, have put yourself in the path of those who preceded, fighting against odds that others thought were insurmountable, and yet emerging victorious as you are today. You know, a great American leader, Dr. Martin Luther King, famously said, "The arc of the moral universe bends slowly, but it bends toward justice." But he also understood, and he said, that each of us has the capacity to bend that arc more quickly toward justice and freedom than it otherwise would bend. And that's what you are doing today. I am proud as an American to stand with the NCRI, the MEK, and Maryam Rajavi, and your enemy, this fanatical, aggressive, suppressive, tyrannical, terrorist-supporting, corrupt regime in Iran is our enemy. As America looks for ways to change this regime, to end this threat to our security from the regime in Iran, there is no better ally, there's no more natural alliance than with the NCRI. Is there another opposition group? Frankly, are there many groups in the world who could have organized a meeting like this globally? I don't think so. Is there another group in opposition to the Iranian regime on behalf of the Iranian people with support in Iran anywhere near the NCRI? No. So I say to the skeptics and the doubters and the paid lobbyists against the NCRI, what we are doing in America, those of us who so strongly support the NCRI and Maryam Rajavi, who you will hear during this day, is doing what is not only the interest in our universal values of freedom as expressed in the Declaration of Independence, but in the interest of the security of the American people today, whose security is threatened every day by the fanatical regime that controls Iran today. Rudy had said it, others have said it, this regime is weakening. The decision of the Trump administration to kick out of the Iran in the right direction, the pressure has weakened the regime in Iran. The increasing courage and protest from the Iranian people gives us hope that the day that we're dreaming of is coming. There are still people who will say to you, and they're here in America, and they will be here until we defeat their arguments, okay, let's go back to the table and negotiate with this regime in Tehran. But they haven't learned. We tried that, and the regime in Iran still brutally suppresses the human rights of their people. The regime in Iran still steals the wealth of the Iranian people, still sponsors terrorism around the region and the world, still sponsors aggression throughout the region and the world, still builds nuclear missiles and the weapons that they want to put on them to attack their neighbors, Europe, and yes, the United States of America. Okay, sorry, I was hoping you were hearing me. Let me say, therefore, that we have reached a point where we can conclude, after all that has been tried with this criminal syndicate that is holding the people and history and culture of Iran hostage, that everything that has been tried has not worked. And since the regime in Tehran has proven itself that it will not change, we must together act to change the regime. It will come from the resistance fighters in Iran, so many of whom we've seen today. And it will, and when they do turn their resistance into rebellion, we and the rest of the world, particularly in the United States, must stand with them and support them. I am convinced that is a day that is coming, and I am ready, Hazer, for that day. This is a beautiful term, Hazer. It's not just ready, though it means ready. It's ready to fight. It's ready to work. It's ready every day to bring about freedom for the people of Iran. Hazer, it's ready to liberate the economic dreams of the people of Iran from the thieves who have stolen their future from them. It's ready to again bring forth the great culture of Persia and Iran. It's ready for the peace that will come to the Middle East and so much of the rest of the world when there is a new regime and a new day, Nowruz, and a new Iran. Hazer, Hazer, Hazer. Now, I want to close by trying to make another little bit of history. And I want to ask you to join me from wherever you are, 30,000 locations, 100 plus countries in the world. In a moment, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. When I finish that, I want you to join me 3 times in shouting out Hazer. I want us to shout it out so loud that it will reach to the heavens, where it will draw smiles and approval, and it will reach to the inner chambers of the evil regime in Tehran, where it will evoke trembles of fear, because we are ready for a free Iran. Okay, are you now ready?
Ready.
Ready. 1, 2, 3. Hazer! 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 Thank you. God bless you.